Alright, here we go. Hey everybody, it's Eric. And this video is actually in response to the Have You Ever Been tag game. And this one is going out especially to the Atlantic City meet and greet folks. But everyone is welcome to play along if you'd like. And I guess the object here is to answer the series of questions from the last video you watched in which you became tagged, and copy those questions down, answer them, and then add a question, which I say you have to answer the question that you add. I will, even though some people didn't, but that's okay. I just think it's more fun that way. So, alright, before I have to give you my entire memoirs, I'm going to jump on this one here at question 15 and add 16. So, without further ado, here we go. More than you may or may not want to know about me. Alright, question number 1. We're going to start off right with the juicy stuff here, folks, so buckle up. Have you ever been to jail? Do we have to be honest when we answer these? No, I'm just kidding. Yes, I went to jail when I was 20. I wasn't in jail, but I was held for 4 hours and then released to my parents. Not a good time. Have you ever been brave enough to tell someone the truth, knowing it would hurt them? Well, I believe in telling the truth 100%, 150%. I'm an honest and upfront kind of guy. I don't think that I've ever told somebody the truth to intentionally try and hurt them. However, it may have been a result of telling them the truth that they ended up feeling hurt. So I'm sure the answer to that is yes. Question number 3. Have you ever thought about being with the same sex? Well, in the words of Lady Gaga, baby, I was born this way. Alright. Question number 4, moving on. Have you ever been in a fight? Let's see, one that came to mind when I read this question the first time was a fight that I had when I was probably about somewhere between 8 and 10, and this neighbor kid who lived across the street from us, he was, one of those he was a little bit older than me, a couple years older than me, and he tried to be my friend. We didn't always get along. I guess we were kind of sort of friends, off again, on again kind of thing. Anyways, he had made some kind of comment about my mother one time. And I just remember that we got into a fight. It was the first time that I ever hit somebody. And yeah, I punched him in the head and hurt my hand really good. I think I hit him right on, close to the top of his head, on his skull part, and ended up hurting myself probably more than I hurt him. But yeah, I punched somebody. Question number 5. Have you ever accomplished something you thought was so hard you never thought you would have, and what was it? Well, the obvious one would be here, the weight loss. It's not something that's accomplished, obviously, because this is a lifelong journey, but did I ever think that I would get to this point? Did I ever dream that I would finally have the courage and strength to be able to get this part of my life under control again? Not really. It wasn't something that I thought of necessarily till the last second kind of deal. So I'm going to have to say that that's probably the closest thing to a good answer for that question for me. 6. Have you ever been told you were fat and to just move on? The just move on part, I'm not sure. Is that if you were asking somebody out or something? I'm not sure what the second part means. But rejected for being fat? Yes, and also I've been told I was fat my entire life. It's been actually pretty traumatic for me, and it was something that I've had to deal with on my entire life. Even when I was trying not to be fat, I would be out walking, jogging, whatever, and I would have people yell out their cars, probably like random teenagers or whatever, but yeah, it happened to me a lot, to the point that I didn't like going out in public by myself, and I still kind of have that scar. I'm trying to break free from that now and become more self-confident and everything, but it's left its toll on me through years of having to hear that. But basically I just always feel like when I go out by myself that I'm the center of people's attention, and not in a good way, because yeah, my self-esteem was damaged and everything, and I always was afraid of that next random person that would call me fat or say, "Hey fatty, get off the sidewalk," or "give it up," or whatever the heck they want to yell at you. But yeah, definitely. Question number 7 is, have you ever shoplifted? I can think of one time off the top of my head when I took some candy. Actually was on vacation with my cousins. We were up north in the White Mountains, and there's a place in Lincoln, New Hampshire on the Main Street section, and my dad had a company condo or whatever that was up there that we used to go to like for a week every summer. And around the corner was the general store called Fadden's General Store, and it's still there. It's still Fadden's General Store, and they had the old-fashioned giant glass candy containers, like of Fireballs and stuff, where you could get candy for like 5 cents or whatever, and you just dropped it in and took your candy. And I know that we took, extra candy and stuff and snuck out of there with it. Question number 8. Have you ever been in love with 2 people at the same time? In love? No. Crushes? Oh yes. Question number 9. Have you ever wished that you could be a stripper if you had a hot body? I can honestly say no. I've never had a desire to be a stripper, and actually, I've never had the desire to have a hot body. I actually think that I feel kind of bad for people who are really, really good looking in a way, because you get so many people who would be interested in you for just your looks. And to me, I have just a really big problem. I can't imagine doing that to somebody. I mean, I know that attraction starts with some physical characteristic to some degree, but ultimately, I can't see any relationship lasting just because of physical looks. They can change so easily from one way to another, and nobody's perfect. I ask even the people that we think are perfect looking, if they think they are, and they'll point out some things that are wrong with them, I'm sure. So, no. Question number 10. Have you had an obsession that was so hard to give up that it got out of control? The only thing I can think of is, like Tom mentioned, I used to have a really, really, really bad habit up to about a few years ago of biting my nails, and like Tom, also half the time I didn't even think about it. It was kind of a nervous habit, but I mean, as far as like getting out of control, I guess you could say I used to bite my nails to the point that I would make them bleed, like ripping off pieces of skin and, things like that. So I guess that could be close to being considered kind of an out of control thing. Question number 11. Have you ever gone through a drive-thru and ordered a huge amount of food, pretending that it was for other people or multiple people, and then drove around the corner and gorged yourself on it? I always was a big eater and took big portions, but honestly, looking back on this one, I can't think that I ever did anything drive-thru related like that. I can sadly say and admit that there were times that I've snuck extra food. I remember times when I was a kid sneaking into the pantry closet and taking jars of frosting and eating just spoonfuls of frosting out of the jars. But not the fast food thing, I don't think. Question 12. Do you currently have or have you had a crush on any one of your subscribers or someone that you subscribe to? Well, seeing as I subscribe to, I think, close to 500 people and have about 360 subscribers myself, I can say that crush-wise, I've got a couple, definitely. 13. How do you feel when you go to a group event and barely know anyone? It depends on what the group is and what is going on. I used to be terrified of public speaking, especially. So whenever I had to host a work meeting or that type of environment, I was very, very nervous to the point that my mouth goes dry. I stutter, probably sound like a chattering idiot. Sometimes I even get a little shaky. I get that nervous. If it's just like in a casual setting, I'm a little bit more comfortable. I tend to be quiet at first. I'm more like the observer type. And then once I guess I start chatting and become more comfortable or have someone to talk to or something like that, then watch out, because I can get pretty chatty actually sometimes. So that's that one, and I've lost my place. Where are we at? That was number 13. So now moving on to 14. Question 14 is: have you ever shopped at an adult store, and how did it make you feel? Well, the answer is no, I have not. And it's probably because of how I perceived that I would feel. I don't know. Actually, I've just never really had the opportunity to do it. Honestly. So, no. Question number 15 is: have you ever not shared some opinion you have with the internet out of fear because you know most people don't share the same view and would judge you for it, and what is it? I would have to say yes. It's not that I'm afraid. I just don't like conflict. So to give you an example, I don't usually talk politics. You will probably hardly ever see anything political posted on my page publicly. It's not because I'm afraid of my viewpoints. It's just, I just don't like arguing with people. I just try to avoid conflict, and I think that there are subjects like that that just tend to just go on and on and on and on, and we all know everybody has their own opinions and so forth, and I don't know, just for me, it's just, and that's probably wrong, but that's just the way that I've always been, so yeah. Alright, and so that's it. So that was the 15 questions that had come up so far when I decided to jump on board. So I'm going to throw in question 16, which I will also answer, and it is: what do you currently do for work, and how long have you been doing it? Currently, I'm unemployed, but I've been in the IT world as a software tester for about 12 years. I started off actually in the food service business and went to retail, and then I went to culinary school, and was back in food service for a little bit, and then after that it's been straight IT work since then for the past 12 years. So that's pretty much my history there. So I'm not going to tag anybody by name. If you see this and you haven't done it yet, jump on board and we'll just go from there. So I hope everybody had a great weekend, and I will talk to you all again soon. Stay strong and stay healthy. Bye.